Hello and welcome to another Transform to Perform. And my name's Brett Baker, and this is on behalf of Denis Wick Products. And today it gives me great pleasure to talk to Daniel Ridder. So welcome, Daniel.
Hello, Brett. Thank you very much for inviting me for this Zoom meeting. I'm very happy to be here and talk to you today.
We should talk a little bit about the various instruments that you've got in the back there. I've never seen such a fine array of amazing instruments. And I reckon that even if you brought a full double-decker bus, you would not fit all of them in it.
Yeah, that's right. So one of my my hobbies, I will say, is collect historic instruments, to have the whole range of the historic tuba from the very beginning. I have a Berliner tuba from around 1840, 1850, till to the modern ones. So mostly these instruments from Czech Republic I'm interested in, and about the whole history, not French, not Italian, not British, not American. So the from the very beginning of the center, from Berlin and Czech Republic, from Germany and Moritz, and yeah.
It's fantastic. It's a wonderful display. And we should talk a little bit about whereabouts you live in the world, because you're in Germany. But do you want to explain a little bit more about where exactly in Germany you're based and why?
Yeah, of course. I'm living in west of Germany. It's very close to Cologne. It's around 45, 50 minutes in the east of Cologne. And so that is my home area where I live in. My parents are living in the village, in the neighborhood. So I'm very close where I grown up. So my old community band where I learn, and I started with my first instrument, is very near. And of course I play sometimes, maybe once in the year I play there. So my friends are in this area, and that is why I still stand at home.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And so I'm sure everybody can see that you play the tuba, so there'll be no mistake there.
Yeah, I think so. There's no French horn in my room.
No, that's right. But is that your very first instrument? Is that what you started upon, or did you always play tuba?
No, I'm at first I started with the trombone, especially with the bass trombone. I had a very good teacher in the community band where I grown up. And so when I remember, I saw the band playing in the church when I was a child, and I take a look to the band and said, wow, on the right side there are some nice instruments with a slide, and that looks good. I want to learn that. And that is why I called the band and I said, I saw you in the church, and I think trombone will be my favorite instrument. And that, okay, we invite you next week, you can come for a lesson, and then yeah, we will see. And that is almost 25, yeah, around 25 to 20 years ago when I started. I was not so not super young. I was 13 or 14 when I started. So
so at what point did you think, I quite like the tuba rather than the bass trombone?
Before I go to the tuba, I played several years euphonium in the band too. So I chose nearly the same mouthpiece from the beginning. And I said, okay, we need someone on the euphonium. And my teacher was playing German tenor horn. And okay, you can try that. It's good to use some valves instead of the slides. And yeah, I got a tenor horn with me at home, and I practiced with an old friend from me who was playing clarinet. And we started with some church tunes. We were playing in the church, and we started, and I was the fingerings over one weekend. And I said, wow, that's nice too. Yeah, maybe after a couple of months, I could ask my parents, what about the nice euphonium? And yeah, so I got my first instrument, the trombone, and then after a few months, I got a euphonium from my parents, and I'm still very thankful for the support from my parents of that. And yeah, I played both euphonium and bass trombone. I think that's a good combination. And after a while, I thought, okay, it is nice to play in the higher range, in the middle range, bass trombone in the lower range. range? And what about maybe the contra octave? Is that possible? Euphonium too small, bass trombone. Yeah, it's possible. Sounds good. And I just tried the tuba. There was one in our band room in the corner, and I said, all right, give me the key. I want to try that. And I'm falling in love with its low instruments. So bass trombone was great. Euphonium as well. I'm still playing euphonium. I did that as a second instrument at the conservatory. And yeah, but then I said, sorry, bass trombone, but I think I will switch to the B flat tuba. And that is why I'm landed on the tuba.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's more B flat tuba that you would play than the C tuba, because I always thought that it was the F and C tuba that were more common in Germany.
Oh no, that's not right. So it is, the Germans are very traditional in some things, and in the music it is a tradition that you play when you go to the conservatory and want to study the instrument. It is necessary to play F tuba and B flat.
Ah,
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and I guess so the B flat tuba, if it's a German B flat tuba, I guess they're slightly different to what I would say is the Besson B flat tuba.
oh yeah, that's absolutely right. So the Besson is with the compensating system. You have top action. The fourth valve is with your left hand. And on the German style tuba, B flat tuba, I said the normal one with 4 valves, you can grab everything with your right hand, and you have your left hand free to pull some slides. Of course, it's necessary. It's not compensated like the Bessons or some different instruments. Yeah, and so that is why I started with the B flat, because euphonium was in B and bass trombone was the same, had the same tuning, so that was easily for me then to choose B flat tuba first.
So I should go on to the next question, which is there an event that you feel allowed you to transition from thinking like a student to then thinking in a professional way about your playing, and maybe there was a change in your playing?
Yeah, that is a question that's not super easy to answer on. So when I remember when I go to my lessons from my first trombone player, he always was my idol, of course. He teach me and he give me tips, advice, what I have to do that I can play better than, I don't know. And so after a while, I go to the conservatory, study my instruments, and then my old community band called me, hey, we have a concert. Do you want to join us and play the concert with us? And I said, of course, I do that anytime. And then my old trombone teacher switched to the tuba too. So, and I was sitting beside him, and he asked me, okay, I have this big mouthpiece. Do you think that's okay for me? What can I do that I can improve my playing? And there was a moment, and I said, okay, that is, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years ago, I was in his lessons, and now he asked me for lessons. And I thought, wow, that is maybe that was the point. And I thought, now you are switching to a professional musician, and people ask you. I was still in on the conservatory, and I was still learning. And he asked me questions, and I said, yeah, of course, I can help you. We can work together. And that was the point. Okay, maybe that is the transition from an amateur player to a professional musician. When people ask you what is your suggestion to choose for a mouthpiece, what literature you can choose, which books, which, I don't know, which anything.
Yeah.
And then you start to change your mind to think about okay, what I can tell the other people to help them. And I think that was the point, the changing point, to transform. It is very slowly transform. It's not like that.
No.
Professional. Wow, super. And no, it's a very, very slow. It need times. It needs a lot of time for that. And you're still learning. We are still learning every day when we grab our instruments. We have to think about basics we did 20 years ago or something, and then we have to remember and we have to learn it again. And yeah, but that is the point, I think.
So how do the products that you use affect your ability to grow as a musician, to change? Have you changed your opinion on thinking, well, this mouthpiece needs to go with this instrument, I think, and then when I play this instrument, I think about this mouthpiece. What sort of combinations do you think are very important? For instance, for the B-flat tuba in Germany.
So I think I'm very simple in my mouthpiece changings. I have a big card box full of mouthpieces. I think as every professional musician, and I always trying and choose something. But I use for my B flat and for my C tuba the same mouthpiece, and I use for E flat and for F tuba the same mouthpiece. So I don't change too much. So I think when you are feeling well with the rim, with the bore size, with the cup, with the back bore, everything, if you feel well, you can choose it for contrabass instruments, so especially B flat and C tuba. And if you feel well on your F and the bass tuba instruments, you can choose both. Maybe I would change a little bit with the cup size. When I play C tuba, I need more shallow cup than on a B flat. You need more response for super low register, and maybe that's the same on F tuba and E flat tuba, I would say.
The final question is to talk to you about who inspired you as you were growing up as a player. Was it more teachers? Was it your colleagues that you were playing with? Or do you think it was more recordings and things like that?
I think there was a combination of everything. When I was at first I was with this private teacher from the band, and after a while he said, okay, you have to go to a professional teacher, and I went to the music school, and there was a trombone player from a big symphony orchestra in our area. And so he was my first professional teacher, and he told me a lot of things what he played in the opera and in the symphony orchestra. He told me something about Alpine Symphony, and when I was young, of course I have not heard about Richard Strauss and his Alpine Symphony, and I said, okay, yeah, would be nice. Yeah, we have a concert next week, and you can with me and listen to the concert. And yeah, that was very, very inspiring. He gave me a CD with this piece, and then I started to be more interested, and I was searching for, yeah, at first for symphonic music with euphonium. So of course you have the Mahler symphony with the big euphonium solo, and Strauss, Heldenleben, there is something, Bülow from Pictures at an Exhibition, and something. That was my first classical CDs I bought. And then I was more interested, okay, what have, I don't know, maybe Richard Wagner, was composing, then Ring Cycle, everything. And then my interests growing up in this part of music. In Germany, it was in the past. Actually, it's not. When you finished school, you have to join to the army for 1.5 years. Every younger, and then you could choose. You can go to I don't know, like an engineer, something, or tank driver, to go to the Air Force or to the Navy. And my goal was to go to the Symphonic Concert Band of German Armed Forces, where I'm still playing now. Yeah, I make an audition, and everything was well. And there was another colleague. He plays tuba. Now he's the professional too. He's playing in a symphony orchestra, and he was really, really inspiring for me. He played things on the tuba I've never heard before. So this Eugen Bossa concertino something, and he told me about that, and I was, wow, that's really great. And yeah, I think he was really inspiring in the direction of the tuba. And so we talk. We have still contact. We phone nearly every week for 2 hours or something, and we have things to talk. And sometimes we talk about old times when we were together in the band. And yeah, I always say him that he was really inspiring for me, and so he was my idol. So in this time,
Yeah.
I have to say, and we bought the first instrument together. We bought he teach me when we was together, so it was great, and yeah, I'm really thankful for that
No, that
input.
sounds wonderful. Yeah, and uh, we should maybe talk a little bit about. You've just been involved in a bit of a recording project where you use some Denis Wick mutes for different sounds. And
Yeah,
so, how did that work out?
that was a really big project. I have a friend in United States. His name is Tim Old. He's a ranger, also a professional tuba player. And in the beginning of COVID times, I bought a multi-track recording system. It's a very simple one on the music stand, and I have a microphone. And I'm a fan from the Gustav Holst's music, especially his suites for military band. And I have in my library, I had a tuba quartet arrangement of the suite in F. And I was always a fan, and I go, oh, okay, let's try out this multi-track recording system. And I recorded the first suite in F. And I sent him, and so it was growing a friendship. And I think it was 2 months ago, he wrote me, what do you think about record pictures at an exhibition? And I said, yeah, but not with me, I can't play that. I will arrange everything, and then we will see. And then he sent me the first arrangements. Everything is in the original tune. And I said, okay, you have to use euphonium, you have to use F tuba, C tuba, B flat, cimbasso, baritone horn, and everything. And I said, okay. And then I started to record, and it's finished. And yeah, in some movements, especially in the catacombs, we have a double quartet. One quartet is completely muted, and the other quartet is open. So, and that's just one movement from, I don't know, 2 or 3 where I need the mutes. And yeah, I gave an email to Stephen, and I asked him and to tell him about the project. And then, yeah, of course, no problem. And then you, Brett, gave me mail. Now we have the Zoom meeting. And yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity to use your moods.
It's a pleasure. Yeah, and we'd be really interested to hear the final product as well, and we can help try and promote that for you as well. So that'd be a really interesting thing to hear. So it's just all low brass playing
Yes,
an arrangement of
yeah,
pictures at an exhibition. Yeah.
that's right. Always, everything is just played on low brass instruments, from the baritone horn down to the big B flat tuba. So mostly the promenades are 4 parts, and then the great Gate of Kiev or something are 8 parts ensemble, and everything is played here in my room. 16 movements in 11 days.
You needed a lie down after that.
Yeah. That's right.
No,
And
that's
everything with this simple multi-track recorder. So I can't add something on the computer. I just send all the parts to my friend in the Netherlands. He put it together, and some reverb, and that's it. So release is in the night from Saturday to Sunday. So in 2 days, 1.5 day, the release is and
Oh, that's great. Yeah, we would definitely send me some information, and we'll
of
we'll
course,
put that out. That'll be great.
yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Daniel. Thank you very much for your time. And I know everybody's going to be interested in listening to what you do in the projects you've been involved with. And I'm sure we will do this again.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and it was a great pleasure to talk to you and to all the people outside. And if anyone has questions, give Brett a mail, and he can forward that to me, and or find me.
Absolutely, that's great. Well, thank you very much indeed.
All right, thank you, Brett.